Can you hear me now, Rosemary? Can you hear me? Just want to make sure everybody can hear. Okay. Call to order. It is now 7:11. Call to order. It's August 1st, regular commission meeting.
Mayor Trumpman.
Here.
Vice Mayor Johnson Sardella.
Here.
Commissioner Bilt.
Here.
Commissioner Ross.
Here.
Commissioner Tudor.
Here.
Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening we had two presentations. I do not see Senator Daphne Campbell here at the moment. So I think what I'll do, if it's okay with everybody, is we'll switch and go ahead and start with the village manager's report. Village manager?
Good evening, everyone. We've had a busy month. We starting with our CAFR for 2016. We are going out for a new auditor, as we were directed to last month. We sent out an RFP. We should receive that back on August 31st, at which point we'll evaluate the candidates for the new audit firm and make a decision on that. We'll have that ready by the next commission meeting, and we'll come to that with a recommendation for a new auditor. With that, we'll be able to move forward with the 2016 audit and get started on 2017 as well pretty quickly. Additionally, from last month, we had brought in the proposal from Florida Community Bank last month for a new bank, and we are looking at other banks now. So Beatrice has already approached one, and we're trying to find a second bank to get estimates so we can bring that all to you probably at the September meeting as well. Parks and Rec. We are delighted to welcome back Isa Burnell.
If you have your cell phones close to the mics, that could be the reason why.
Will, here's your cell phone.
Okay, so we're delighted to have Isa back. Yay again. And we've already met, and Isa's already jumping in with both feet, and he's already giving us some ideas and looking at things we can do with programming, with improving the rec center, staffing from A to Z. It's all going to be evaluated and hopefully improved, I'm sure improved. So, welcome back. And with Public Works, again, the staff is doing their normal stuff, the trimming and so forth throughout the village. This month we also hit potholes on several streets, and additionally we reached out to Miami-Dade County regarding repainting the stop bars on the streets in front of stop signs, that sort of thing. They'll be sending someone out in the next few weeks to conduct a survey and address the issues that we have with that. Just making the additional visibility on the stop bars will be helpful. And so we're also putting together a list of faded stop signs throughout the village, and we'll also be looking at reflectors on the edges of the streets and go from there. So Public Works has also met with the Playground Equipment Company and done some repairs on the playground equipment at the rec center. It's one of those things that they'd repaired a couple of times and it wasn't quite getting actually fixed. And so they seem to have identified the issue and addressed it now. So that should be much improved. And we're also getting estimates for using permeable pavers around the rec center for parking. And so actually, that was a great suggestion given to me by former Commissioner Anderson, and thank you for that. We're looking at that. That's something that we can do to address the unpaved areas and still address the tree roots, that sort of thing. So it may have to be phased in. We have to do some this year, some next year, but it's something that definitely is a great idea. So thank you. And code compliance, that's continuing to improve. This month, Officer Pinero issued 116 courtesy notices and citations. And one of the things that we're trying to do to improve our whole code process is, just get everybody, the board, administration, the code officer, all on the same page. To that end, we brought in a gentleman this week or this month to speak with the code board and administration and the code officer, so that we are all learning the same process and working off the same playbook. And I think it was a very productive meeting, and we'll be happy to move forward with that, hopefully cleaning up the process, streamlining it, making it more effective and better for both, the code officer, the code board, and the village residents. So, and that's really it with finance. I'm going to let Beatrice give her presentation on that. One more thing, we are working on an FDLE grant. We've been granted the $20,000, and we are working on the submission for that grant. We're getting bids for, these will be used for improved cameras at the rec center, as well as cameras for buildings like the Village Hall, the log cabin, that aren't currently monitored under camera systems. So that's it for this month.
I just have a quick question regarding the selection process for the auditor.
Okay.
I believe, I just want to see if there's a consensus that we can go ahead and have designees made. Perhaps you and Beatrice as our designee. I just want to make sure with the attorney that that's the correct process to do. According to statute, I believe we can make 2 individuals designees, and then they can bring that back to us.
Sure, there's certainly no requirement to have the manager and the finance person can come with that recommendation. Staff can do it without having that committee. They're going to speak at the committee to recommend that we will post that, yes.
Okay. Could you pass it to Attorney Hurt for me? Thank you. Okay, just to verify. And so we can have, we'll go ahead and have them designees.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Right. The selection committee can be whoever the commission would like it to be, and they can be. They're not making the decision, they're making recommendations.
Correct.
You're not designating that.
So if there's a consensus, I don't know if well, actually, since this is just a presentation, why don't I put that on additions and withdrawals as a motion then? Correct? Would that be the proper procedure? Or can we do it now? Is it okay that...
We can do it now, but I thought it was staff's sort of responsibility to close the RFP and open up those bids or those offers, and the commission's involvement is only in making the final decision.
Well,
not designating.
I just want to make sure that's why I gave you that to sure, and if that's the case, then I'm not going to worry about it, but that's why I gave you that.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of the auditor selection as well, but
Okay.
it can be done with the 2 of them, and that's how it was going to be done, I believe.
Okay.
Before.
I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Since Senator Daphne Campbell's here, I'd like to reserve the presentation. If we have to do that in the middle, we'll deal with that at the moment. We'll go ahead and move to deletions, and withdrawals from the agenda. Are there any?
Yes, actually there are. In regards to the consent agenda, we're going to be removing the acceptance of board minutes for the Code Compliance Board and also for the Planning and Zoning Board. In the 8-A, the minutes for the regular commission meeting, there's been some changes, so the minutes will be amended, and those are the only changes at this time.
Okay, so when we get to the minutes, we'll adjust them, and I'll ask you to explain that at that time. And since Senator Daphne Campbell is here, didn't want her to get too comfortable. Yes. We welcome her, and we have a presentation. You have a presentation for us to discuss your legislative pieces? You want to wait a few minutes? Yes, no problem. Yes. We'll go ahead and wait for that.
Question, the code minutes that are being removed, are they both the June 21st and July 10th?
The 2 that are being removed is July 10th and the Planning and Zoning Board, which is July 17th. I got a little ahead of ourselves.
Okay. That's because you're so advanced. Thank you.
It's too quick.
Okay. And we'll go ahead and, when we go to accept the minutes, I'll go ahead and reiterate that as well for the Resolution 10B. Okay. In the meantime, we'll go ahead for information updates. I believe that is for Beatrice.
Do we have public comments? We can do that?
No. Oh,
Yes.
I
Wanna
did
do
it
that
again
first?
after. So sorry. I do that every time. For some reason, I jump, because I guess after the manager's report, I always feel I need to do that. My apologies to the public. Public comments are open now. Good and welfare.
Dan Samari at 1030 Northeast 21st Street. Two things I wanted to be sure that we can pass on for East's event that's coming up this Friday at the log cabin between 6 and 7. If we can send out, if each of the commissioners can send out a blast again, see if we can get a lot of people to show up. And also I wanted to find out if I can, I do my annual 9/11 collection, and it's September 1st to the 31st, so I wanted to get the permission from the commission to do it, and I have to come in front of you to do it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Anderson, 11th Place, 119th Street. To add something to getting the streets, the markings and the reflectors. Also, we used to have blue reflectors on the streets showing where fire hydrants were located. And a lot of them have got knocked off. And it would be a good idea to put them on there. Because an example is a few years ago we had a fire on the corner of 119th, 11th Place, and they didn't realize it was a fire hydrant right next door to that house, but it was overgrown all around it. They went a block to go ahead and pick up water for that house.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, we'll close the floor to public comments. At this point in time, we welcome Senator Daphne Campbell.
Let me wait for my staff. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, my goodness. Good afternoon, my residents, my constituents. Good afternoon. I'm waiting for my staff to pass around a little booklet we put together to show you all the bill passed and money your own Senator Bud sued the district, people who requested money in the appropriations and everything like that. So let me wait until she served everyone and then we will start. You finished, Mary? Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and Commissioners. And I believe I saw a few commissioners here I never seen before. And I saw one, I'm looking at her face from outside. I said, oh, they got a new one now. Well, I'm Daphne Campbell. I'm Senator for District 38. I represent the village for past 6 years as a state representative, working very close with Commissioner Ross. Hi, Commissioner Ross, how you doing? And I met the new mayor in Tallahassee as well. She came and talked to me in Tallahassee requesting, the budget, whatever appropriation you guys have. And I know the city attorney, city manager, the clerk, new clerk too. I don't think, we met, but I've been serving the district 108 for 108, the village, for past 6 years, and now you're Senator for representing you in Tallahassee. Hello, my constituents. How you guys doing? I know you guys remember me, huh? If you forget who I am, I think, we have to sit down and talk. First, Commissioner Ross and I worked for, how many years we worked together, Commissioner, to get the money, the $1 million to build that beautiful city for the village? How many years we did it together? 5 years straight. She was going to Tallahassee every week. I'm telling you, with the city manager now for North Miami Beach, Ana Garcia, and we worked tirelessly. And the first 2012, it was vetoed 2011, and vetoed again 12, vetoed again 13. That's 3 years straight. And 2014, you remember? So what we do, we quadrupled the money. They started from $250,000 It was vetoed by Governor Scott. Second year, we put it 500, vetoed again. The second, you remember? And then finally, look at the beautiful city you guys have because your state senator, back then, state representative, with Commissioner Ross, working tirelessly, and we get this done. So it was a big accomplishment. So I said it everywhere I go. I talked about with the village of Biscayne Park everywhere I go to let them know things could happen if you're really persistent and be vocal for your city. So for those who don't know me, I'm Daphne Campbell. My new commissioners and Miss Jenny, yes, is Daphne Campbell and representing District 38. I was elected last year, and the constituent of Biscayne Park voted big time. And I say thank you to all of you from the bottom of my heart. You guys know you got the best one, the champion, the hero, and I'm going to continue for you guys. So in Tallahassee, just past session, and as you know, session started in March to May, and we extended again until May 8th because there was a big division between the House, the Senate, the Speaker of the House, the President of the Senate, and Governor Scott wants his. Governor Scott only was fighting to get money for enterprises for Florida and Visit Florida and enterprises. And the Speaker of the House said, no, we give money before, and then we don't see what they do with the money. So they went and put a bill together, and they removed them completely from the budget. And because of that, we have to go back again. Not only we extended session until May 8th, we go back again June 7 to 9 to get the governor what he wants. Because he says, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to veto the entire budget. And not only that, you know, they have a bill, you know, a lot of people didn't like the bill. The bill was horrible. HB 7069. That bill is a bill, they put a lot of bills in the last minute together. The bill affecting the teachers, you know, the students. It's just not a good bill at all. I spoke against it, but unfortunately, Governor Scott signed it to law. This is what happened. The budget we passed in Tallahassee was $82.4 billion. And in page 18, I have it written on page 18 to give you a little summary of what's going on in Tallahassee. The SB 2500, which is General Appropriations Act. So this bill, you know, Governor Stats signed it already. It's already law. So everybody will have money in that budget, so get their money. Well, the general revenue was $30.9 billion. Trust funds, $51.5 billion. Full-time employee, 112,000, and we have reserves, total of $3.2 billion, working capital fund, $1.2 billion, budget stabilization fund, $1.4 billion, and Lawton Charles fund, $667.4 million. With all that said, how much money the Biscayne Park have in the budget? Zero. You think I'm happy? No, I'm not happy. And that's why I wrote a letter, if you see page 16, I wrote a letter to Governor Scott, express my, you know, disappointment when he vetoed so much money. He vetoed almost $4.9 million. He did veto, and a lot of good organizations involved with the veto. The village did, I think they had an appropriation. I have it here on page 19. I think it was like 465,000. And you could see it wasn't by me. That's what I put it there. They didn't bring it to me. It was brought to the minority leader, Senator Brennan. I don't know why. But I feel bad. If it was me, you would get that money. I'm so sorry to tell you. I will bring it.
We'll be talking.
I'm so sorry, because if you look at in the pages from pages 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, all these Senator Campbell fought hard, worked hard, voiced hard to get this money, all these appropriations by me. You know, because if you come to me, I don't know why It's the first time ever, they went to somebody else because they always come to me for the appropriations. I always, so Madam Mayor, we have to work together this time to make sure we have things, because how can I stand here in front of the constituent of Biscayne Park to tell them $82.4 billion and they're not in it? How do you think I feel? How do you think? For past 6 years, I've been breaking money here. 6 years, even though 4 years vetoed, but we got money here. We got money for bulletproof. We have money for the police officers' vest. We have money for police officers' training. So, I got different money, but this time they didn't come to me. I didn't even know anything about it until lately when I asked, but if I knew they came to me, I would make sure I vote for it. So, city manager, I'm telling you, I'm not playing. You guys need to come to me. I represent the village, and trust me, I represent 15 cities. Within the 15 cities, the only 2 cities don't get anything. Biscayne Park and North Miami Beach. But North Miami Beach, they didn't want to give it to them for some reason, I don't know, because they think they are rich, but it's not. But I voiced a lot for all 15 cities. Some of them have 4 appropriation, 2 of them vetoes. They have 2, some is 3, they have 1, things like that. But Biscayne Park this year, the mayor could tell you they didn't come to me. She came to me in the last minute, but I didn't know anything about it. Otherwise, it won't be vetoed, it will be there, and they will get the money. So next time, please come to me, because I don't want to stand here and say, oh, nothing come up after the $82.4 billion. That's a lot of money. A little city like that requests a little bit money, you should get it. Okay, I put it here, all the bill passed in Tallahassee. You guys could see it. So I give you all the details on what happened in Tallahassee. So unfortunately, and I have to say it again, sadly, with a very heavy heart, I'm standing here to talk to my constituents. I didn't bring nothing for them. It's bad. But
You did bring us one. It was small. It was $20,000.
yeah, but that's.
But
not,
I just wanted to thank you for that, because you did help us with that.
Yeah, but the $20,000 to me, that's not a big money with $82.4 billion. Don't you agree? I mean, it's not. That's what you see. I don't even talk about it because it's not a lot. $20,000. That's nothing compared. $82.4 billion for a small city. We should get more. So what we're going to do next year, like I did it before with Commissioner Ross. She knows me. So whatever we lost this year, we're going to double it. Anytime Governor Scott vetoes something who belongs to me, I make him pay the next year. That's the way I work with Governor Scott. So we're going to double that money. So city manager, city attorney, we're going to work together with all the commissioners and Madam Clerk. We need to work together to make sure we double that money and get more. I really want, and I think I said it before previously, to get money for senior citizen hot meals. I don't know, if it's okay here, but I think it's something we should work on it to make sure our citizens here get served, especially those who live alone. They don't have no family members or someone who could do a hot meals for them. Something like that we could just bring on the table to Tallahassee for our senior citizens. And the next thing, I know we're talking about senior centers. So for the seniors to have a place for them to relax themselves, enjoy themselves, have a great time, a senior center for the village. So those 2 things I think is very dear to me, and we're going to work on that to see if we could bring that on the table in Tallahassee to make sure we get fundings to create those 2 items, senior center and senior hot meals. I don't know how you guys feel about that. That's my proposal. Right, Mayor?
Absolutely, and I look forward to
Madam
continuing our
Commissioner?
conversations.
Come on, Commissioner, let me hear you. I'm talking. I don't hear nobody says, okay, yes, no. How do you feel about my proposal? Madam Ross?
Well, Senator Campbell, I want to, even though we didn't see the money come to Biscayne Park, I'm grateful for your efforts in getting some of our neighboring cities' monies in stormwater. El Portal got a sizable award, as did some others for stormwater projects and for improved drainage and streets. And we definitely would want to come talk to you about that next year to increase what we see in those areas. As always, I'm grateful for your work. I know you are tireless. You wear down at least 3 pairs of shoes every legislative session, running around and making sure that your constituents are served and heard. One thing that we're going to face some challenges with is this new exemption, added homestead exemption that's going to go on the ballot in November. That's going to have some significant impact on our budget. And if I may come and talk to you once our budget is being worked out, so that we can, so you can have a better understanding of the dollars that we have.
That's good. And maybe we could campaign against it if you think it's going to hurt you. That's all. We just have to, like I talk to our constituents and let them know what's going on and educate them, and then we go from there.
An educational campaign is definitely worth doing, but I think that it's pretty obvious that it's going to pass because that's what the voters will choose. And we'll just have to learn new ways to manage that.
No, but you don't know if the voters are going to vote on it. So that's what you have to educate your constituents. Says, listen, we don't want that, vote it no on this. Regardless what Tallahassee does, but the constituents have the voice. They are the one to have, that's why it's going to be on the ballot. If they agree to vote on it, yes. If they don't, they vote against it, and it failed. Just like the marijuana failed the last time.
The issue on that particular ballot is that cities like ours that have only residential taxes, basically for our main revenue stream, are going to be sorely impacted because we can't go any higher. And so when they impose a $200,000 essential cut for us, it's mandatory. Other cities, if you take Aventura or some other cities that have much smaller ad valorem, they can spread that around. So while this is not, it may give tax relief for some, it's going to be a burden for many others. And I tirelessly, I cannot tell you how many people I called, how many people I knocked on the door to try and make that known. I called every single senator, every single House representative to try and get them to understand what this particular action will do. And I had very little response, especially from the 2 Democratic senators that ended up voting for it.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry that
that's
happened.
Why you didn't hear from me as much as you thought. That's what I was working on.
But I'm sorry that happened, but we still could work on it. It's not too late because he has to go on the ballot. We still could educate the people. We could do campaign, town hall meetings, and let them know where you stand, and the voter will choose. That's their right to choose yes or no, and we go from there. I think that's the best idea.
And I also look forward to working with you on some of the priorities that the Commission and the community has outlined for us, which are our roads, are one of our biggest priority, and our lighting are some of the two priorities that were really discussed. And the roads, we, as you know from my conversation with you, is we tied them into the stormwater or the sea level rises,
Yes.
and we had engineering data to support that. We had about a 2-day turnaround by the time I came up to see you. So it was a very short turnaround, but I promise you we'll be working closer together.
Madam Mayor, I'm available for you. You have my cell number. All of you have it. And, Commissioner Ross, sometimes she texts me and tells me, vote this way, vote that way. Yes, Commissioner? And, just that's what I work. I'm open for everyone just to talk to me. Anyway, I thank you all for listening to me, and we're going to continue the relationship. Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming. I've had a request to take a 3-minute recess, a 5-minute recess due to a matter for one of the commissioners, so we're going to take a 5-minute recess. That's okay with everybody?
My apologies.
Thank you. I'm not giving us a chance to say hello.
Hey, what's up, son?
She's going to be troubling you more.
I was working from home. Wait, what happened? Oh, the flood.
She got back Saturday. She's back Saturday. She's on the other.